Hey, everybody. This is Will Stuyvesant, Regional Director with Consumer Energy Options. We just want to thank you. We at CEO want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to be on this conference call. We find that those that are consistently on our corporate calls are those that are, getting more customers and bringing on new people onto their teams. So I just wanted to thank you for your time and on behalf of the company. In addition to that, right now is a great time to go out and get natural gas accounts. I don't know where you might live, but I know here in Michigan that it's gotten pretty cold the past few days, and people are thinking about their heating costs. So this is a great time to get into, get some natural gas accounts. In addition to that, just a reminder for those of you that might not know, we now have direct energy online portal submissions for natural gas and electricity. This has really made our processes seamless, and these are done through residential gas and electricity. We also have them for small commercial. The residential natural gas pays out lump sum commissions, and just to give you guys an idea, I actually took a stopwatch and timed myself yesterday how long it would take me to submit an account from start to finish with the back office and the online portal, and it took me 5 minutes and 20 seconds. And the only reason it took that long is it took 35 seconds from the time that I hit submit at Direct Energy until they confirmed that they received it. So literally, guys, it's not because I'm that great. In 5 minutes, you can submit an account with CEO. You don't have to worry about paper and signatures and everything else if you don't want to. We have that as an option now. So if I were to get involved in CEO, one of the things that we consistently talk about on these calls is why would somebody get involved with CEO? One, there's no investment. We also offer a residual income that comes from services that are unconsciously purchased and essentially makes our business model recession-proof. And we help people who are unknowingly and unnecessarily paying too much for their utility costs. One thing that I personally love about CEO is there's no cap on the income and we have no boss, and I can promote myself building a team or even without one. So I don't know if for some of you that might be on this call if you have another job or whatever, but just really think of the fact that you have an opportunity to promote yourself within this company as long as you stick by the guidelines and the, whatever it takes to get promoted. Since January, we have up to January of last year, we have a new compensation plan. Before January of last year, we were really only paid 4 different ways. We now have the ability to get paid 29 different ways, 4 on personal production, 4 on direct level management, and then 21 different ways after you become, once you get promoted amongst the ranks starting at senior consultant. In addition to that, I have a finance background, and one of the things I look at is if you were going to make an extra $500 a month outside of working and you wanted to invest some money somewhere, if you were to invest in the stock market or real estate, in order to get $500 a month, you would have to essentially invest about $50,000. At our senior consultant level, especially now with our direct energy portal signups, getting an extra $500 a month is not a problem if you and several other agents go out there and gather customers month in and month out. If you're brand new to the company, we have a basic training in the back office. So we recommend that you go there. It's a little blue button above our leaderboard. You click on it, and there's a 26-page presentation that our National Director, Nathan Matelich, put together. It's real simple and easy to go through. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and maybe longer if you want to really study it. But we recommend that. We also recommend that you go get what's called our 5 to 50 program. Go out, get your own bills and 4 others so you can submit it through our direct energy portals to get $50 in your pocket pretty fast. One thing that we like to go over every week is our leaderboard. And so to get right into that, we have our natural gas leaderboard. We have number 10, Dave Besser. Congratulations. I know you're on the call. Number 9, Will Stuyvesant. Number 8, Rich Weinberg. Number 7, Libby Elliott. Number 6, Keith Borkowitz. Number 5, Paul Weaver. Number 4, John Stensberg. Number 3, Lisa Cornell. Number 2, John Bernard. And number 1, Rodney Olderson. And there's only one number 1. And Rodney, congratulations. I know that you're on the call. On our electricity leaderboard, we've got number 10, John Stensberg. Number 9, Tom Z. Number 8, Shafte Cohen. Number 7, Ed Sullivan. Number 6, Annie Serpa. Number 5, Nick Siska. Number 4, Nathan Matelich. Number 3, Dave Besser. Number 2, Rodney Oldeson. And like I said before, there's only one number 1, and our number 1 on our leaderboard is Bob Zabik. On our team additions, we have tied for number 3, Ebony Thomas, Will Stiverson, Sam Callan, Beverly B. Tied for number 2, we have Michael Northern and Chosen Few Marketing. And number 1, we have Bobby Hill. So congratulations for all of those that have made it to the leaderboard. Those that are on the leaderboards are the ones that are collecting checks. So figure out what it takes for you to go out there and get on the leaderboard. And before I introduce Nathan, I just want to say, for anyone to become better, or for anybody to get more out of life or more of what they want out of life, they have to become more than what they currently are. And Nathan's got some ideas and things that he's going to talk about. And I love the fact that he is constantly in self-development mode. Every great leader is. And I just want to warmly welcome our National Director, Nathan Matelich, and Happy New Year to everybody. And I'm excited to hear what you have to say, Nate. So you've got the reins, my friend.
All right. Thanks, Will, for that introduction. The two things that I'm going to be talking about today are going to be an energy market update. But first, I read a phenomenal book over the Christmas break called The Energy Bus. And, there's a lot of symbolism and irony of it being named the Energy Bus, being that this is a Consumer Energy Options conference call. But, I got a lot out of the book. And the reason why, I do a lot of reading is that the only way, if you want to achieve level 10 success, and that level 10 success could be, physically, it could be in your career, it could be in your relationships, it could be, the quality time and relationships that you have with your kids or your wife, whatever it is, in order to achieve level 10 success, you first have to do a level 10 personal development. And so first comes you developing yourself as a person to those level 10, and then comes the level 10 success that follows. And so I read The Energy Bus, and the premise of the book was really that there's a gentleman named George. He was kind of middle of his career. I don't know if he is 40, 45, middle manager at a company, and he started out his career as being a real go-getter, super charismatic, got a beautiful wife, a couple kids, and then all of a sudden he hit the middle of his life, and he started thinking that, oh, poor me, look at all these bad things that are happening to me. I might lose my wife. If this product launch doesn't go well, I'm going to lose my job. My kids, I don't spend very much quality time with my kids. And one day his car broke down, and so he had to take the public bus to work. And so there's a lot of parallels between that, him having to take that bus, and the lessons that he learned as far as how he could personally fuel his energy bus. And, long story short, he turned his life around and ended up getting a promotion and, keeping his wife and spending quality times with his kids. And at the very end of the book, there was 10 rules for the ride of your life. And I thought these were very applicable no matter who you are, what you're doing, where you're going. And I know that my energy bus is going to some really great places this year. I'm inviting all of you to get on my bus and go for the ride. Anyone who's getting on these conference calls, congratulations, you're plugging in, you're getting hopefully a little bit of inspiration with some market intelligence and updates. You're getting some more knowledge that'll help you. And so I'm really excited about this year. But the 10 rules of the energy bus for the ride of your life. Rule number 1, you're the driver of your bus. And in this book, George had to flip his mentality from poor me, look at all of these bad things that are happening to me. And as soon as he decided and realized that he can choose to be happy every day, and he can choose to have a positive mental attitude, and he chooses how he reacts to all of the outside circumstances that are always going to hit him, as soon as he chose the direction of his bus and decided and committed to that with passion and purpose, his whole life turned around. And so, in looking at consumer energy options, only you can decide, how much time and effort and energy you get put into this business. Only you can decide if you're going to get on the conference calls. Only you can decide if every single week if you're going to actually, go out and talk to individuals and see how we can help them out. If we can see if their bills are, if they're going to be overcharged on their bills. So rule number one, you're the driver of your bus. It doesn't matter what happens to you. It doesn't matter, if you were born into a poor family, a rich family. It doesn't matter if you live in Montana, Chicago, Michigan, or Florida. You are the driver of your bus. Number two, desire, vision, and focus moves your bus in the right direction. So you have to figure out, why are you doing this? I know personally the reason why I got involved with consumer energy options is because, one, I wanted to be able to live and work wherever I wanted in the United States, and two, I was fortunate enough to have a great childhood, and my parents allowed me to do many things as I was growing up, and so I wanted to. The reason why I'm working so hard is because I want to be able to give my children some similar opportunities as I had, growing up. And so, take out a pencil, piece of paper, write down, what's your desire, what's your vision, and what's your focus. And, write it down and review it on a regular basis, because that is how you're going to know when you check in from time to time that you're headed down, the right path. So number 3 for the 10 rules of the energy bus is fuel your ride with positive energy. Hopefully everyone that plugs in these calls, you jump on here, you get excited, you get fueled with positive energy. If you're having a bad day, or you can't physically choose a happiness or positive attitude for yourself, jump on these calls, listen to them, get plugged in. That's going to help you a lot. Attitude is a choice. Passion and happiness is a choice. So make sure to fuel your ride with positive energy. And even just yesterday, Will and I were talking, and Will gave me a call, and he's like, "Man, Nate, the couple weeks around Christmas and New Year's just absolutely killed me, because I was just throwing out all kinds of positive energy. I was excited. I wanted to get business done. I wanted to bring on more accounts. I wanted to help more people, and it was a little tough because some people were in Christmas mode, vacation mode. Yet Will just kept on with the positive energy, ready to rock and roll when Monday after New Year's came around, and it was really nice for me to kind of enjoy some of that positive energy that Will was throwing off. Coming off of the New Year. So fuel your ride with positive energy. It's all about positive energy. And I think, as Matt Hirschberger sometimes talks about, sometimes, ignorance on fire is better than having no energy and not taking any action at all, because people love to see and work with and engage with people who are very charismatic, have a lot of energy, and are really a positive influence. So rule number 4, invite people on your bus and share your vision for the road ahead. I know that, with this new compensation plan we rolled out a year ago, there's never been a better time to invite people along for your ride. Get the right people on your bus. For those people who joined us a couple minutes in, One comment that Will said is the only thing better than being number one on the leaderboard is overriding and being the leader attached to the person who's number one on the leaderboard. And so the more people that you can invite onto your bus, the better the ride's going to be. The more quickly you are going to get to where you need to be. And yeah, we've had a couple conference calls on it, but it's as simple as sending a couple of your friends your recruiting link that just has some information on consumer energy options and saying, hey, I got involved with this company called Consumer Energy Options. I was just wondering if what your thoughts are on this company, and if you know anyone who might be interested in getting involved. And half the time someone will say, oh yeah, I know someone that's interested, and the other half the time they'll say, hey, why are you passing over me? I'm interested. I don't want to introduce you to someone else. I personally want to get involved. So invite people onto your bus. You'll definitely reach your destination much sooner and hit your goals much sooner if you do so. So rule number 5, don't waste your energy on those who don't get on your bus. The nice thing about this business is we're not technically selling anything because people are already spending money on their energy. We just want to help them save. But at the same time, there's a little bit of sales that goes along with what we do. If you approach someone and you experience rejection, either inviting them to get on your bus, or maybe it's even someone who doesn't understand deregulation or truly how we can help them out, no need to waste your time on them. Just quickly move on and move on to the next person that's going to see the vision or see the value in what we provide. And the nice thing is once you build a team, everyone's going to hit those roadblocks. Everyone's going to get, hit that rejection. But when your team's large enough, you're always going to have someone who's bringing on a new account, doing something exciting, and that, you'll be able to share in that excitement and not have to dwell on some of the naysayers out there. So rule number 6, it says post a sign that says no energy vampires allowed on your bus. It could be rejection, it could be negativity, it could be I know that even I personally, when I first started in this business, I tell my mom and dad and some of my brothers who aren't necessarily as entrepreneurial as myself, they said, Nate, why are you doing that? You have an MBA, why don't you just go to work for a big Wall Street firm or a big company in Chicago and depend on them to provide you with a good life? And why do you have the entrepreneurial bug? Why do you want to go out and take a risk? And I just said, hey, you know what? If you don't see the vision, that's fine. I'm going to surround myself with and work with the people who really get it and really support my vision and my dreams, and want to jump on my bus and go the places that I want to go. And so, while energy vampire is a pretty serious term, it can come in all forms. It can come in the form of maybe a wife or a brother or a sister or a parent, some coworker that has a really negative vibe. No energy vampires allowed. Move past that. Find the people who are going to fuel your bus and help you get where you need to go. Rule number 7, enthusiasm attracts more passengers and energizes them during the ride. There's nothing better than enthusiasm for this. I know that, if I'm a little down, I'll give a couple people in the call, a couple people in our company call, share some enthusiasm, share some success stories, and, success breeds success, or enthusiasm attracts more passengers. So if people are seeing you doing what you truly love and enjoy, others are going to want to jump on your bus, go for the ride, and you'll both be better off for it. Number 8, it says love your passengers, which is kind of an interesting description or an interesting rule, but you really have to love what you do. You really have to be passionate about what you do. It might be hard some days, but you also want to spend a little extra time and attention. And if you built an energy team, take a little time, pick up the phone, call everyone on your team on a regular basis, and say, hey, how's it going? What are some of the successes that you've enjoyed that we can celebrate? What are some of the challenges that you're having right now that I can help you get through? Oh, yeah, that's a really good question. Let me give Nate a call. Let me give Will a call. Let me give Tom or Fred or Matt Hirschenberger, or Bobby Hill, or Paulie, or anyone else in the company a call, because we want to help you be successful. We'll get that answer for you. So love your passengers. Number 9, drive with purpose. As much as it's great that we're creating residual income here, and that there's the ability to make good money, big paychecks, all that other stuff. You really have to have a purpose, drive with purpose, understand what that purpose is every single day. And in the Energy Bus, the book, George worked for a company that developed light bulbs, and what he realized is that he can't just go to work, punch the clock, and pick up a paycheck, because there's zero purpose in that. And so he sat down with his team. He says, okay, what is the purpose, the bigger purpose for doing what we do? And his team came up with this huge list and said, hey, the reason why we make phenomenal light bulbs is so that they can go into hospitals where lives are saved. The reason why we make phenomenal light bulbs is so that we can put in that lamp that sits next to a small child's bed, that it's his or her parent uses to read to them every night. And so, residual income is amazing. I love it, but you got to decide what your purpose is and why you're driving. And then number 10, have fun and enjoy the ride. If quite frankly, if you're involved with consumer energy options and you're not having fun and you're not enjoying the ride, this might not be the right thing for you. But guess what? I know that I personally am having the time of my life. I'm having fun. I love it when people are sending me bills, closing deals, sharing in those success, and it all leads to happiness and fulfillment, which I hope everyone's really experiencing. So, feel free to go pick up the book. It's called The Energy Bus. And it's just it's super easy to read. It's a great narrative, and it was really a reminder to me that no matter how bad life is, no matter how hard times get, no matter how many bad things happen to you, you can choose every single day how you're going to respond to those. And sometimes in the energy business, it's a little tough getting going. It's a little tough getting past that rejection, but choosing to have a positive outlook in energy really helps you get through. So that was section number 1 of what I wanted to cover today. The other thing that I wanted to cover that's a little bit more practical was just a general energy market update. While for a lot of the small stuff, just asking friends and family for a favor, hey, you got to buy your telecom or gas or electricity for somewhere. I was wondering if you could do me a favor and buy it from me. That's just a great way to bring on accounts. But sometimes people ask you, hey, what is going on in the energy market? Why are you recommending one product over another? And so for this week, the energy report says, the first week of January 2016 brings in cold weather settling in, and then potentially returning in the 10 to 15 day forecast. What we've seen is we've seen a recent jump in natural gas prices. A lot of that is now, basically because, hey, we're in the dead of winter. The cold weather is finally here. there's going to be a lot larger demand for natural gas. And through that, we're starting to see the traditional increase in natural gas prices. But at the same time, we're at record level storage levels for natural gas. So, gas is still dirt cheap, compared to the 5-year average. I'm just looking at some charts here, and oftentimes the amount of gas in storage determines a lot of the price that natural gas is being bought or traded at. And probably back around June of 2015, the storage levels increased and ended up above. They ended up above what the 5-year average is. And then probably around September of 2015, we've just had so much natural gas production, so much storage, that the amount of gas in storage has increased to be above what your 5-year maximum average storage level is. So, what kind of trends are we going to see through 2016? We're going to see natural gas, stay historically cheap, historically low. Now is still a phenomenal time to be looking at those 3-year. Occasionally there's a 4-year fixed rate gas contract available for the really large users. Even for residential homes, going out to 18, 24 months is a great idea. But even though we saw a small, or not a small, but a pretty decent uptick or a spike in the natural gas prices now that winter's here, what we also have noticed is that electricity prices have basically stayed about the same, maybe a tiny uptick there. So, barring a polar vortex this year, I think that gas and electricity prices will continue to stay pretty reasonable as far as that goes. Just a lot of it is attached to supply and demand. I'm looking at the 11 to 15 day, forecast and outlook. They're predicting that through the Midwest and certain parts of the Northeast, kind of western parts of New York and Pennsylvania, we're going to have some below average temperatures. So, get those gas and electricity accounts locked in now, for more cold weather hits and spikes the demand and ultimately spikes some of the prices. But, all in all, now it's still, we've been talking about it for the past 6 months. It's still just a phenomenal time to be looking at those long-term contracts. And even on a more competitive advantage note, if you're working with, some commercial customers that are, medium and large customers, because we've been in a downward trend for our gas and electricity market for the past, year or two, it's even if you approach a customer and they say, oh, we're still under contract, we still have a year left, we still have 12 months left, we still have 18 months left on our current contract, because gas and electric's so cheap, we have the ability to help those customers buy that really, really cheap gas and electricity today, and then have it start flowing 6, 12, 18 months, whatever it is, in the future. And what that does is it doesn't cost the customer any money. It allows you to get that customer period to end no matter what and steal it away from the competition. And it doesn't allow the competition to come back and try and keep the business because, that they've lost that customer 6, 12, 18 months before they even know of it, sort of thing. So a couple points there. With that, I'm pretty much wrapping up things. I think we have Tom and Fred on the phone, the co-founders of Consumer Energy Options. I just figured I'd open it up and see if Tom or Fred wanted to say any words in the new year.
Hello, Nate. Yeah, you are correct. Tom and Fred are here. We've been listening together, talking about a bunch of things, and the Energy Bus, that was a great summary of that book. I read it myself, actually. Matt Hirschenberger recommended that, and I'm glad to hear you and some of the leaders are reading that because, like you said, you can't be more unless you are more, and the only way to do that is develop yourself through reading. So, anyways, Tom concurs with me. We're about 2 feet from each other. Great call. Thanks for everything you do. And, Big Will, your introductions are awesome as well. So that's it. We'll mute out and let the field ask some questions to the experts.
All right. Thanks, Fred. Do we have any other questions today about anything, back office, energy, contracts? No questions. No questions at all.
Hey, Nate, it's Will.
Hey, Will. What's up, man?
Hey, everybody. I just want everybody to know on this call, Nate just gave like the best Cliff Notes version of that book, The Energy Bus. I've also read it, but it was a huge reminder of all these positive things that we can carry on that doesn't just apply to CEO, but even our own lives, period, no matter what we're doing. And so I wanted to compliment you, Nate, on, breaking it down, making it the Energy Bus, like the CEO bus, if you will. And what a great job. And as far as enthusiasm, guys, if you set yourself on fire, people will come to watch you burn. Never forget that. So that's all I got, Nate. Awesome job, buddy. Awesome job. So,
all right. Thanks, Will.
Yep.
So here's a question that I have. Has anyone set any personal goals for themselves for this year? Whether it be income goals, whether it be daily or weekly goals that they think that they're going to do in order to help them out, or even if anyone has a small success story, even if you're brand new to the company or otherwise, I'd be curious to hear if anyone has set any, big or small goals or had some small success stories that they could share, because I find both those to be extremely valuable. Okay. Well, I guess I can. I'll just go ahead and share a couple of my goals and some other personal success stories, and then we'll wrap this up since it's almost half past. But I've set up some goals that every single week I'm gonna be focused on doing some recruiting. Out here in Montana, gas is deregulated. There's very low competition. Savings is good. We're partnered up with the only natural gas supplier in Montana that can service residential, small commercial, and large commercial accounts. Every other supplier can only service the really large stuff, which is few and far between. So I've made a goal and commitment that every single week I'm going to be putting up Craigslist posts and other sorts of job ads in order to grow my team in Montana. And along with that, have some goals for just staying in touch with past customers, email marketing, those sorts of things. 90 or 95% of happy customers say that they would be willing to give referrals, but it's something like only 10 or 15% of anyone who owns a small business or is in sales ask for those sorts of things. So I have a couple goals and daily, weekly action plans that I have set up so that I don't want to become complacent. I want to continue to see a lot of growth. So I know personally I put calendar reminders there to remind me to every single week do those small things to consistently either ask for referrals or bring more people onto my energy bus that way. And then, another couple of small success stories is even just, having some past customers send some friends and family members my way. Even though I'm in Montana, I'm still getting referrals from some customers that are out in Chicago, and they know how easy it is just to send me over copies of their bills and get signed up. So, it's amazing what you can do when you stay in touch with people. But, with that, it's about 30 minutes after the hour, we'll wrap it up. Thanks, everyone, for joining me today. If you have any questions, or want to drop me an email, my email address is Nathan, Nathan, at CEO-energy.com. Thanks, everyone, for joining me, and we'll see you on the top. Get ready to fuel up your energy bus. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.